I got to be honest with you folks, I made a bit of a mistake on something. Now, this is my widescreen monitor. Over here is the MacBook Pro, and this is connected to my gaming PC and the MacBook Pro. And I thought, piece of cake, I can edit videos in Final Cut Pro 10, and when a customer calls in, I just hit a button and be right back into Windows and take care of my clients. But no, I mean, it works, but check this out. Take a look how long it takes. So bring it up the menu. There we go. Come over to here. I gotta go over to here, down, down, down. Change the input. Change the Thunderbolt. Now let's watch how long it takes for the MacBook Pro to come online. Still waiting. Click, click, click. That actually wasn't too bad. A lot of times it's even slower than that. I think I'm going to have the MacBook set up all by itself, and that way if a customer calls in, I don't have to, futz around with the changing the display from the Windows PC to the MacBook, right? And so now this is the setup after that I'm using for editing videos. Hey, I know what, I'm a pretty lucky guy to have this stuff, so I'm not going to complain. Let's talk about rebranding for just a minute, or reinvention, whatever you want to call it. I have a lot going on right now. I've got a company called Frugal Brothers Software that we are changing the name June the 1st to FB Security Group. Then also I'm rebranding my YouTube channel as Bruce Naylor instead of Frugal Tech. So I just thought I'd take a minute and just kind of talk a little bit about that. It turns out that is a really, after 10 years in business as Frugal Brothers Software, with the Frugal Brothers domain and all the advertising we've done, it's tough. It's a big job, kind of change that name. So we're actually going through a transition period. There's going to be a lot of bugs to work out. I've already been to the local county to do a name change, or DBA form, I forget what they call it. I've also had to fill out a form with the state and let them know we're changing our name. So I've been doing all that kind of stuff. And then there's the YouTube YouTube side of things, because when I started my YouTube channel, it was to help me grow my business, and I used the name Frugal Tech and did it for a long time. The other day I changed it back to well, not back, but it's always been Frugal Tech. But I changed it just to Bruce Naylor, and for the most part, the feedback's been pretty good on that. The feedback's been, pretty positive. There's been a few people maybe a little upset in the comment section because they're afraid that I'm going to get out of reviewing consumer technology or what have you, and that's really not the case. I just felt that by using the term Frugal Tech, I got a lot of comments from people saying things like, well, your channel's not frugal because you own a Mac or whatever. And it's like getting this, my definition of frugality and their definitions, two different things. And I felt that it kind of made me a one-dimensional person. And so I thought, you know what, since I'm rebranding my business, I might as well rebrand myself. And I just thought, I want to share with people my passion for business and being an entrepreneur, and the ups and downs with that. And so that's why I did that. And now, of course, I'm working on this concept, which is I think vlogging could be interesting if I talk a little bit about my life and taking you kind of with me on the journey of being a small business owner as well as kind of a geek. I've always was kind of a nerd growing up, or I should say a geek. I don't know. There is a difference between the two, I guess. But I've always been, I was instead, we didn't have Star Wars when I was growing up, but I was into Star Trek, and I was into Lost in Space and Robbie the Robot and all that stuff. So with the state-of-the-art technology for back in the day, that's what I was really interested in. See this? I'm going to be reviewing this soon. This is the VR ShineCon, ShineCon. So this is virtual reality glasses. I'm actually going to be checking these out here real soon and maybe doing a review on it, because I'm pretty anxious to see what this is like. So gadgets, change this around. Gadgets are a passion of mine. I'm going to continue to look at them, review them, and talk about them. But Bruce Naylor is my brand. That's who I am. And I'm a little bit business, a little bit geek, and that's just me. So, oh, just enjoying the peace and quiet. Well, not so much quiet. The birds are awful loud this time of the evening. In the beginning of my video, the vlog, you probably seen some like black stuff along the side of the dark areas on the side of the video, and that's because of this thing. It's a lens hood, and either it isn't quite made properly for this camera, or I had it on wrong. You got these pedals up here, I guess is the best way to put it, and they need to be above, which I thought I had, and then you have the small ones which go on the side, but for some reason, and this was supposed to be made specifically for the AX53. Yeah, still, if you turn the camera very sharply, left or right, you kind of see a little bit of darkening on the sides, and no doubt about it, that's, you know, probably this is not made right. Ordered off Amazon, and it's probably going to have to go back because it just simply doesn't work. I am trying to decide whether to buy a new gaming console or not. I've got an Xbox 360 getting long in the tooth. Kind of like the idea of an Xbox One. Or should I go with a PlayStation 4? I've got a gaming PC that I don't get to really use that much for gaming, because when I do get time to game anymore, I just want to chill. You know, I just want to get real comfortable and kick back. And yeah, I know I could do it like an NVIDIA Shield or something like that. But I also really want a Blu-ray player too. So maybe that makes sense. I mean, maybe it would make sense just to have a console, even though PC is definitely, I think, a better way to game. Maybe the gaming is, you know, superior as far as graphics and, you know, all the pros of gaming PC, but maybe, just maybe a console might not be such a bad idea. But I can't decide whether I want to go with a PS4 or an Xbox One. Lady, lady. I know the feeling. I know the feeling. Today has been an interesting day because I got to spend a little bit of time with my lawyer. That's normally not a good thing, and damn, those guys make a lot of money, don't they? The reason being is I'm having a contract drawn up with my customers to when we provide services to them, to make sure that just because we're the last person that touched their computer doesn't mean that anything else that doesn't work is our fault. You know what I mean? It's a liability kind of issue. But, you know, you mentioned something to me I never really thought of, and I've been in business for myself many, many, many years. And it's the first time I've ever had this brought up, which was, you know, I hire subcontractors, and I mean, I've done contracts with subcontractors, but he also mentioned the fact that in case you're audited, not only, you know, there's a big thing about proving people is truly a subcontractor. And I think that's kind of a misconception a lot of people have. They don't know a lot about truly what goes on with a subcontractor. But let me just educate you just for a minute, right? The reason a lot of people want to hire you as a subcontractor is they don't have to withhold federal withholding taxes or any of this stuff. There's no taxes being held. We're not taking out disability insurance on you, unemployment insurance, or any of these things. You're truly your own company. Well, see, that gets abused a lot. And I mean a lot. And so what happens is that there's actually people who truly are really an employee, but they're labeled as subcontractors, so their employer doesn't have to pay these taxes. There's kind of a test on that. I'm not going to go into all the details, but the bottom line is, if you're working for somebody that dictates to you where you're going to work, the hours you're going to work, when you're going to do your work, all these things, you're an employee, not a subcontractor. Bar pizza, definitely the best. Look at that. Banana peppers, beef, cheese. Oh yeah, good eats. Keep getting comments on my sunglasses. I don't know if I mentioned this before or not, but I've had a couple pairs of prescription sunglasses, and they kept getting broken because I don't know. I guess I just break stuff. But at any rate, I decided, you know what, probably just better off to get something really cheap, because I know they're going to get broken. And so I went up to Walmart and got they just slide over my regular glasses. They're like $10. I know people think they're old people's glasses, and it's not really because I'm old or anything. It's because I just know that prescription sunglasses aren't cheap. And after you break, I think 3 pairs of them, you sort of go, these things just ain't for me. You know? So you have to tell your county, because you have to self-report. You have to tell your county all the equipment, furniture, all the stuff, right down to the pens and pencils, I think, of what your business has, and then they assess a tax on that. You pay it in 2 halves per year, I think is how it works. That's a lot of fun. It's just yet another. Have you ever noticed, maybe you don't know this, you know, if you work a job somewhere, you never owned a business of any kind, once you go into business for yourself, you're going to find out you have become the nation's tax collector, debt collector, child support collector. It's absolutely freaking insane, all the penalties and responsibilities that are placed on you when you have your own business. For example, if you have an employee that's got a judgment against them, you can get an order from the court to withhold money from their check. It's called a garnishment. You're responsible for that. Some states, I don't know about all, but if you have an order for child support, you've got to withhold child support for that employee. Not to mention their federal income, federal withholding taxes, their Social Security, Medicare taxes, you got to withhold. Plus you have to match a certain percentage of that. Of course, that's on top of what they call FUTA, which is with a federal unemployment tax or something like that. Unemployment taxes, you got a percentage of your payroll is due to the state to take care of unemployment insurance. So you have that. That's in addition to any kind of benefit you offer, like health insurance, dental insurance, vision, 401k. It's on top of all that. The other thing I wanted to talk about, this is Friday morning, by the way. The other thing I kind of wanted to mention was that I have been fighting a battle of the waistline for practically my entire adult life. And I finally got on a low-carb diet here several years ago, and I lost a lot of weight. But the problem is that although I'm still a big believer for a quick weight loss, it's not a viable long-term solution. It's just too easy and too difficult. I should say it's too difficult to stick to, at least for me. So now I've put some of the weight back on. I'm not happy about it. I'm really out of shape because I got a job where I spend all day long. My work involves a lot of sitting on my ass, and that doesn't help. Because, you know, the other thing is, as we get older, a lot of us have a proclivity to put on a few extra pounds. As it just is, what do they call that? Middle-aged spread, something like that. It becomes increasingly difficult to keep the weight off anyway, and then add with that a job, a career where you're sitting on your butt. It makes for a potentially lethal combination. At any rate, I've been neglecting my health for far too long, and it is really starting to show. When you get middle-aged and a little bit older, you start paying for the sins of your youth. I come to realize there's no such thing as a perfect diet that works for everybody. It's got to be something that you can live with. That's the problem with a lot of diets. Most of them are based on some kind of restriction, you know, calories, carbohydrates, low fat. I mean, there's always stuff that, and I'm of the belief now that probably the best approach is what they call mindfulness. In other words, eat what you want, but really take your time to enjoy the food, and you'll feel fuller quicker. Chew slowly, and then have a wider variety of foods. Of course, you don't eat, you know, a lot of bread or sugar or you know, Grandma knew best about what was fattening and what wasn't really. You know, she knew that cake and pie and ice cream and all that's going to make you fat if you eat too much of it. Soda, all that kind of stuff. Let's talk about vanity for just a minute.
Let's do.
So you have to, before I can put you in a vlog, you have to have your hair done a certain way and everything. What's that all about?
It's a girl thing, hon. It's a girl thing.
See, I just don't get chicks at times. I just don't get it.
We don't get you guys either, so
Hey, that's an excellent point.
it is.
So here we are at the sports bar, having lunch. Check it out. It's a pretty cool place, actually. It's on a golf course. What's it called? Oh, you pointed the other way. Here we go.
That's the golf course.
I wonder, look at that. It's on the golf course. Everything goes dark because I'm pointing towards the sun. So let me ask you a question.
There is no sun today, honey.
Hey, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Would you marry me again?
In a heartbeat.
Really?
Yes.
Liar.
I'm not a liar,
You'd run
honey.
like hell the other direction.
I would not.
Yes, you would.
I would chase you down.
Like the dog I am, right? Fair enough.
Oh.
Right, Cindy feels it's important to get some video of her salad. Really? That's the work of art right there.
The salad?
It's a
the
prime
sandwich.
rib. No, it's a prime rib sandwich with French fries. You see, in part of the blog I was talking about losing weight and diet, and here I am. See, I have no willpower. I like the creativity of making videos and putting them together, and I enjoy, working with cameras and video editing and doing all that. But I think most of all, I enjoy sharing a little bit of my life with you folks on YouTube. And hopefully you kind of like what I'm doing here, making this. This is actually a work week in my life. And I'm going to try to get little snippets of video each and every day, except one day a week. And on that day, that's kind of when I can just kind of chill out, relax, and maybe do some editing, catch up on some other stuff. But I really, really enjoy the whole process of making videos. I hope you enjoy the end result. And if there's some things you'd like to talk about, or you'd like to see me, maybe discuss or do in the vlogs, let me know in the comments down below. So, all right, until the next vlog, that's the end of it.